All right, everybody, welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah, welcome back.
Today, we are going to be diving deep into 10 skills that will pay off forever.
That's right.
And this is a topic that's perfect for those of you who are listening, who are all about learning new skills, learning things quickly, efficiently, and just building up your repertoire.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think these skills that we're going to talk about today are valuable no matter what stage of life you're at.
Exactly. Like whether you're, just starting out in your career or you're, a seasoned professional.
Yeah.
These are skills that are always going to be helpful.
Absolutely.
And just to give you a little taste of what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be looking at things like emotional intelligence.
Oh, that's a big one.
Right? It's like a superpower.
Yeah, it really is.
We'll be talking about financial literacy.
Super important.
Yeah, like how to manage your money and make it work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And resilience, how to bounce back from challenges, which, let's face it, everybody faces challenges in life.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be able to roll with the punches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a YouTube podcast script.
Yeah.
And we're kind of, taking the most impactful parts of that and breaking it down for you.
That's right.
So let's jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
The first skill we're going to be talking about is effective communication.
Okay.
Now, this is something that seems, pretty basic.
Yeah.
Right? Like we all communicate every day.
Right. It seems obvious, but there's actually a lot more to it than people think.
Yeah, like what?
Well, I think a lot of times people think that being a good communicator just means being able to express yourself clearly.
Yeah.
Right. But actually, like, the most important part of communication is active listening.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so what does that mean exactly?
It means really paying attention to what the other person is saying.
Okay.
Not just, hearing the words, but really trying to understand what's behind them.
Okay, so it's like listening with intention.
Exactly. And, also paying attention to their nonverbal cues.
Oh, so like their body language and their facial expressions and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All of that communicates a lot.
That's true. I never really thought about it that way.
Yeah, it's really important. And, one really helpful tip for active listening is to paraphrase what you've heard back to the speaker.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to make sure you're understanding them correctly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also shows them that you're really listening and you're engaged.
I like that. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, it's a great technique.
Okay. So we've talked about effective communication. Let's move on to the next skill, which is time management.
Oh, yeah.
Time management. We all wish we had more time.
Right. 24 hours just never seems like enough.
Exactly. But some people just seem to be able to get so much done.
Yeah, they seem to have it all figured out.
Right. Like, what's their secret?
Well, I think the key to effective time management is not necessarily about doing more things.
Right.
It's about doing the right things.
So it's about prioritizing.
Exactly. It's about figuring out what's most important and focusing on that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? How do you figure out what's most important?
Well, one helpful technique is to create a to-do list.
Okay.
But not just any to-do list. You want to prioritize the tasks on your list. So, maybe use a system where you rank them in order of importance.
Okay.
Or you could use a method like the Eisenhower matrix, which helps you categorize tasks based on urgency and importance.
Oh, interesting. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
Okay, so prioritizing is key. And I guess it's also about managing your energy, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have all the time in the world, but if you're not energized and focused, you're not going to get much done.
That's true. So how do you manage your energy?
Well, one thing you can do is to try to identify your peak productivity times.
Okay.
So, for some people, it's first thing in the morning. For others, it's late at night.
Yeah, I'm definitely a morning person.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so try to schedule your most important tasks for those times when you're feeling most alert and focused.
That's a good tip.
And also, don't forget to take breaks.
Oh, yeah. Breaks are important.
Yeah, it's important to give your brain a rest so you can come back refreshed and re-energized.
Okay, so time management, it's about prioritizing, managing your energy, and taking breaks.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next skill, which is emotional intelligence.
Oh, EQ.
Yes, EQ.
Yeah.
So this is something that I think is becoming more and more important in today's world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really the key to success in so many areas of life.
Like what?
Well, for one thing, it's essential for building strong relationships.
Okay.
I mean, if you can understand and manage your own emotions and you can empathize with others,
Yeah.
then you're going to be much better at communicating and connecting with people.
That makes sense. And I guess it's also important for leadership, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Leaders who have high EQ are able to inspire and motivate their teams.
Right.
They're able to build trust and create a positive work environment.
Okay, so how do you develop emotional intelligence?
Well, one thing you can do is to start paying more attention to your own emotions.
Okay.
So, when you're feeling stressed or angry or frustrated, try to take a step back and ask yourself why you're feeling that way.
Yeah, like what's causing it?
Exactly. And once you understand the root cause of your emotions, then you can start to manage them more effectively.
Okay. And I guess it's also about being aware of other people's emotions, right?
Yes, absolutely. Paying attention to their body language, their tone of voice, their facial expressions.
Right.
All of that can give you clues about how they're feeling.
And I guess once you understand how they're feeling, you can respond in a way that's more empathetic and compassionate.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so emotional intelligence, it's about understanding and managing your own emotions and being aware of other people's emotions.
Right.
Got it. Okay, let's move on to the next skill, which is financial literacy.
Oh, yes. This is a big one.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel intimidated by finances.
Yeah, it can definitely seem overwhelming.
Yeah, like there's so much jargon and it just seems really complicated.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be.
Okay, so what's the key to financial literacy?
Well, I think the most important thing is to just start educating yourself.
Okay.
There are so many resources available these days, like books, websites, podcasts.
Right.
You can learn about budgeting, investing, saving for retirement, managing debt.
So it's just about taking that first step.
Exactly. Yeah. And, you don't have to become a financial expert overnight.
Okay.
Just start by learning the basics and then gradually build from there.
That makes sense. And I guess it's also about developing good financial habits, right?
Yes, absolutely. So things like creating a budget, tracking your expenses, saving regularly, investing wisely.
And I guess it's also about avoiding common financial mistakes, right?
Yes, definitely. Things like overspending, racking up credit card debt, investing in things you don't understand.
Right. Okay. So financial literacy, it's about educating yourself.
Yeah.
Develop a good financial habits and avoiding common mistakes.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's move on to the next skill, which is problem solving. Now, this is a skill that I think is essential for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Life is full of problems.
Exactly. We all face challenges, both big and small.
Yeah, and, the ability to solve problems effectively is really what separates those who succeed from those who don't.
So how do you become a good problem solver?
Well, I think the first step is to develop a positive attitude.
Okay.
If you approach problems with a sense of dread and negativity, you're less likely to find creative solutions.
That's true.
So, try to reframe problems as opportunities for growth.
Okay, so it's about seeing the challenge as a chance to learn and improve.
Exactly.
I like that.
And then once you have a positive attitude, you can start to break down the problem into smaller, more manageable steps.
Okay, so don't try to tackle the whole thing at once.
Exactly, yeah. Break it down into smaller pieces and then focus on solving one piece at a time.
That makes sense. And I guess it's also important to be creative, right?
Yes, definitely. Sometimes the most obvious solution isn't the best one. So don't be afraid to think outside the box and come up with new and innovative ideas.
Okay, so problem solving, it's about having a positive attitude,
right? Breaking
the problem down into smaller steps and being creative.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, let's move on to the next skill, which is self-discipline.
Oh, this is a tough one.
Yeah, self-discipline is definitely not easy.
But it's so important.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's the foundation for achieving pretty much any goal.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can't discipline yourself to do the things you need to do, you're not going to get very far.
That's true.
Right.
So how do you develop self-discipline?
Well, I think it starts with setting clear goals.
Okay.
If you don't know what you're working towards, it's hard to stay motivated and on track.
Right. So having a clear vision of what you want to achieve.
Exactly. And then once you have your goals, you need to create a plan for how you're going to achieve them.
Okay. So breaking down the goal into smaller steps.
Exactly. And then it's just a matter of sticking to your plan.
Which is the hard part, right?
Yeah. But, there are a few things you can do to make it easier.
Like what?
Well, one thing is to find an accountability partner.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone who can help you stay on track.
Exactly. And, you can also try using rewards and consequences.
Okay, so like rewarding yourself when you reach a milestone.
Exactly, yeah. And then maybe having a consequence if you don't.
Okay, so self-discipline, it's about setting clear goals, creating a plan, finding an accountability partner, and using rewards and consequences.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, let's move on to the next skill, which is networking.
Okay.
Now, this is a skill that I think a lot of people have mixed feelings about.
Yeah, some people love it, some people hate it.
Yeah, I think some people see it as kind of sleazy or inauthentic.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But I think networking can be really valuable if it's done right.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about building genuine relationships.
Right, so it's not about collecting business cards or trying to sell yourself to everyone you meet.
Exactly. It's about connecting with people who share your interests or who you admire.
Okay. And I guess it's also about giving more than you take.
Yes, definitely. I mean, be helpful, be supportive, offer your advice or insights.
And I guess it's also about being a good listener.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people love to talk about themselves, so just listen attentively and ask thoughtful questions.
Okay, so networking, it's about building genuine relationships, giving more than you take, and being a good listener.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, let's move on to the next skill, which is adaptability.
Oh, this is a big one in today's world.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the world is changing so fast.
Yeah, everything is constantly evolving.
Exactly. So the ability to adapt is more important than ever.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're not able to adapt to change, you're going to get left behind.
That's true. So how do you become more adaptable?
Well, I think it starts with having a growth mindset.
Okay.
I mean, if you believe that you can learn and grow and change, then you're more likely to embrace new challenges.
Right. So instead of seeing change as a threat, you see it as an opportunity.
Exactly.
Like that.
And then it's also important to be open to new experiences.
Okay. Step outside your comfort zone. Try new things. Meet new people.
And I guess it's also about being willing to learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone makes mistakes, but the key is to learn from them and move on.
Yeah. Okay, so adaptability, it's about having a growth mindset, being open to new experiences, and learning from your mistakes.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, let's move on to the next skill, which is public speaking.
Oh, this is a tough one for a lot of people.
Yeah, public speaking is definitely a common fear.
Yeah, but it's such an important skill.
Yeah, I mean, it can really help you advance in your career.
Absolutely. And, can also help you build your confidence and your self-esteem.
That's true. So how do you become a better public speaker?
Well, I think the first step is to just practice as much as possible.
Okay.
Join a Toastmasters group or take a public speaking class.
Right.
And then also, just try to get comfortable speaking up in smaller groups.
Okay. So like at work or in social settings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you do have to give a presentation, just remember to prepare thoroughly.
Know your material inside and out.
And I guess it's also about connecting with your audience, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, make eye contact, smile, be enthusiastic.
Right. And I guess try to relax and be yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people can tell when you're not being authentic.
That's true. Okay, so public speaking, it's about practicing, preparing, thoroughly connecting with your audience, and being yourself.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, let's move on to the final skill, which is resilience.
Okay.
Now, this is a skill that I think is more important than ever.
Yeah, I mean, with all the challenges and uncertainty in the world today.
Exactly. Like, we all need to be able to bounce back from setbacks.
Absolutely. I mean, resilience is what allows us to cope with adversity and come out stronger on the other side.
So how do you develop resilience?
Well, I think it starts with having a positive outlook.
All right.
I mean, if you believe that things will eventually work out, you're more likely to persevere through tough times.
That's true.
And then it's also important to have a strong support system.
Okay, so people you can rely on for help and encouragement.
Exactly. And, it's also helpful to have healthy coping mechanisms. Things like exercise, meditation, spending time in nature.
Right. So things that help you manage stress and stay grounded.
Exactly.
Okay. So resilience, it's about having a positive outlook, a strong support system, and healthy coping mechanisms.
Exactly.
All right. So there you have it. 10 skills that will pay off forever.
Yep.
Now, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
But I think the key takeaway here is that these skills are all within your reach.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone can develop these skills with time and effort.
Exactly. And the more you develop these skills, the more successful you'll be in all areas of your life.
Absolutely.
So I guess the question is, which skill are you going to focus on developing first?
That's a good question.
And how will that change your life?
I think I'm going to work on my active listening skills.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think it'll really help me in my relationships.
For sure.
What about you?
I think I'm going to work on my financial literacy.
Oh, yeah, good choice.
Yeah. Something I've been meaning to do for a while.
I know what you mean.
All right, well, thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.